Good afternoon, everybody. And I'm very glad to be here to be the discussant for the World Bank leaders about his what do you spell? Damper. Okay. Damper. So I give I give my thanks to the ADBI and Dr. Xu, who invited me to be here. And now, this one. Okay. I should say, first I find some materials from the website about your job. And I think it's a quite good and excellent job, and I really like it. And this is some the summary of your tour called DEMA, and this is the program objects described in the documents, and it's try to find local government debt management tour for developing countries. And the program seems to begin in 2008. And I find another data about the DEMA have been used for more than 17 countries and have more than 100 evaluations across the 5 regions. So, and this DEMA, all of the indexed cover the 5 core areas, which called governance, the coordination with macro policies and borrowing practices, cash flow forecasting, operational risk management. And this is the screenshot I cut from the take from the website. I find that there is 14 DBI index with 33 dimensions, but in your speech it seems 30 DBI. Maybe there's a different version, and we can see that in this version we have 14 DBI and mentions the dimension, the number of mentions is below that in that form, yeah. And I find that your scoring methodology look like you give 4 level of scores, and A means best, and C is the minimum requirements, and D is not passed, and there is no rating, no weights, and no aggregation in these scores. And so, in my opinion, it's really is a diagnostic program. So, if you finish this assessment, you will find where is your strength and where is the weakness of the debt management system. This is I also just do the screenshot from the website. This is the scores, and this is some supporting documents that you required, and the questions you're asked for assessment. So this is my comments. First, I choose 2 index. Or indicates from these documents, and it shows how to scoring. When you get the A, it means this 3 months. The description in these indicators says the borrowing candidate for the wholesale securities is extended to at least 3 months. If so, you can get the scores of A. If it's 1 week, it's C. Another indicators also have some numbers about the type. 3 years means C, 2 years means B, and 1 year means A. So that's my question. So what's the base of these standards? Because you are given a standardized debt management. So where they come from? From theory or best practice? That's my first question. And the second is them are focused on the borrowing of the local government debt because the loan is the first source, which passed half of the total numbers. So my question is, if this system is used only for the loan, how about the other kinds of debts of the local government, especially for some complicated or innovative debt instruments? We have a lot of those kinds of examples in China, such as asset management plan. It was is provided by banks, and structured instruments, or PPP, or financing platform, which is established by the local government, and its function is to find money for the local government. So it's a special company. And all of those asset management or structured instrument are off-balance financing tool. Another comment is about your concern, the legislation and authorization or the decision-making process of the borrowing. As you mentioned, which includes the budget, the investment plan, the refinancing, the debt. So my question is, how about the quality of the borrowing decision or the budget of the SNG? If the quality of a budget or the decision is not good, how can you make the judgment of the debt? So this is and another question is about which means the procedure correct equals to the result correct. So if you have a good procedure, but maybe garbage in and garbage out, so that's the problem that we should concern. And another comments is about your demos suggest to build a recording and a reporting of the SNG debt. But in my opinion, would those systems should be to apply to all the countries because they have different control patterns. Some are controlled by the central government, or some was regulated by the market discipline. So I think it might be some adjustment for different control patterns. So I give some suggestions about this. If we can do some improvement in these systems. The first is we should identify the innovative practice in financial management and put it in this assessment tool. And I give 3 examples because usually we can see some efficient and accurate cash balance management in their company, and use the ratio like debt interest to tax revenue, which measure the how the debt interest match the tax revenue. Is measure the cash flow in and out. So if the ratio is good and the cash balance would be would be proper. And another example is we suggest that the local government maybe should find more non-tax revenues, not depend only on the tax revenue. Since in China we have the local government have lots of non-tax revenues like land income and SOE's revenue or some equity sharing entities. And the third suggestion is can we reduce the fixed cost and add more flexibility to our financial management for the local government. The second suggestion is maybe we should concern procyclic effect of DEMA, because if you give their assessment result for the small or poor local government, maybe they have lower scores, and lower scores will lead to less debt or difficult financing. And then if the local government can't find enough money, maybe the region development should be delayed or less developed. So how do we deal with these problems? Could we use the central government transfer? And my third suggestion is maybe we should emphasize they are coordinated with the macroeconomic policy, not only to the fiscal and the monetary policy. Maybe we should expand our emphasis to other macroeconomic policies, including their national plan, trade policy, industry policy, and various livelihood policy. And we may expand our concern to the important factors which would affect the policy making. So I just give those suggestions. Thank you.